Hola, welcome to my channel. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sheilla Yolalessie Visyamanda. I come from 6F. Here I want to review about article entitled Task-Based Learning Technique, a strategy to enhance student speaking skills at ESP context. Okay, begin from the introduction. According to Harding, 2008, English for specific purpose is a branch of English course is designed to meet specific needs of the learners. It means it refers to the teaching of specific genre of mostly technical English for students for specific goals. For example, is English for secretary, English for banking, English for accounting, and etc. Okay, because by learning English specifically, the students are expected to be able to use what they have learned in the ESP classroom right away in their work. Therefore, when they are graduate from this study ESP, they will be competent enough in performing their job in the field. This article show if the reality happen in a classroom is far from the expectation goal of learning ESP. For example, is from the result of performance tests conducted in an English for front office course. In this test, students are asked to act as a front office staff who serve a guest in hotel. Showed that almost students are skillful in handling guest needs, but they fail on using the language. This is not very satisfying result of learning ESP, because the goal of ESP is the student can master both content and language use equally. Okay, from the identification above, it seems there are two problems which are need to solve. Based on this article, the problem they are come from students factor and teacher factor. If student factor, they feel difficult in use language. They don't know what things to do by the language because they're still confused about pronunciation, the word, until grammar and intonation. If the teacher factor in this article told if the teacher help or use presentation practice and production or produce or PPP technique, which is the teacher is only presentation the material at the beginning class. Only give example, then ask the student to memorize the dialogue given from the teacher and then produce the similar dialogue. It means that the teacher is only focused in the form, not to the meaning, right? This make the situation class are bored and make student unmotivated to study English. And also, according to Sehan 2003, task-based learning technique refers to technique which is based on of tasks as the core unit of learning process and become instruction in language teaching. It means the learners do as a central to the learning process. Learners or students become the central of during the learning process. From this article, according to Sam 1990 and Javid 2013, there are some benefit of task-based learning technique. For the first is it stimulates authentic conversation because the learners are forced to behave in a natural atmosphere. And the second is provides opportunity for the learners to use language freely and create effectively. And the third is useful and more suitable for consolidating and practicing aspect of conversational proficiency. From the advantage above, proposed by the implementation of task-based learning technique, it's strongly recommended for the teacher to apply this strategy in their classroom. After that, here I want to explain about the stage of implementing task-based learning in the classroom. Okay, according to Nuna 1993, there must be followed. The stage must be followed. The first is pre-task. Pre-task is the height of the activity. The topic and tasks are introduced here. At these steps, the teacher is become a guide in the class. For the second is the task cycle. Task cycle can be considered as the time for learners to perform. The student can be a central of the learners during the learning process. They can produce, perform whatever they know in the target language. Learners work in pair on the group, and at this stage, the teacher becomes motivator for students to use target language and becomes helper as well. And the third is language focus. Language focus is outcomes of the activity. In this case, teacher sometimes get students to find a word, phrase, read, underline, and pay attention. Asking to the teacher if they don't understand yet about the materials. Before submit the task, teacher give the task to the students, and then at the end of the class, teacher ask student to submit the activity or the task and helps the students to see what they have learned. By use this technique, we can see the progress on the students' performance. They could perform the task better. They were confident enough in using language and try to perform their role as a front office staff professionally. They really paid attention, especially to pronunciation, even their grammar still need to improve. Students were happy in performing the task. They tried the best, showing their best performance. The learning atmosphere was more fun than before. This article it can be concluded that task-based learning technique can be useful technique to be implemented to facilitate students in achieving their intended learning goal. It can influence the student speaking achievement and increase student speaking achievement or speaking skills because it provides sufficient opportunity for students to use the language, provides more exposure on the target language, and increase the student interest, motivation, and self-confidence. Okay, that's all about my explanation from this article. Maybe useful for you all. Sorry if I do some mistakes. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
That's all from me. Thanks for watching.